Hello, bibliophiles. I'm Tashvi, and welcome to Literature Lover. So, today we are here for the January reading vlog. So, let's just get into it. We have for the month of January. I dropped something. It's like it's the second video of the year, and I'm already just constantly dropping things. Regardless, for the month of January, we have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Because the prompt was a classic. Now, I have heard things about it. I am slightly aware of what's up with the story, slightly. I know that it's a goth novel. I'm down for that. I love anything goth. And it's also a romance. That is a bit of a problem because I don't feel that comfortable reading romances. I mean, look, occasionally, if it is written well, it sometimes does affect me, and I do become a 5-year-old kicking her feet in the air because and giggling because it's good, but it is tricky for me to traverse. So honestly, just let's just start reading the book. So, considering I am slightly late to starting this book, today is the 25th of January, and it's Saturday. No, sorry, it's Sunday, actually. Not even Saturday, it's Sunday. And this video is supposed to come out on Wednesday, like this upcoming Wednesday. So I am truly in trouble. So this entire book is like, what's the last page number? 375. So technically, I need to finish like half of this book today, half of this book tomorrow. Let's see how that goes. Hi, so I'm on the roof with my book, my pencil and highlighter, and I am starting my read. God, the wind is too much, but let's get into it. I'm like halfway through the first chapter. It's a short one, and I am loving her writing. Her writing style is so vivid, and it's almost you can picture the scenario, the situation, and honestly, the weather with the wind blowing was a fun way to create the ambiance for the setting of Yorkshire here. So, okay, so I am back on the roof today. It's a different day. I did not record my reading yesterday. I did read a bit before recording as well, so I'm like halfway through chapter 3. It is disappointing considering I plan on finishing this book today. I don't think I'll be able to. I think I'll have to push it till tomorrow and just figure a way out to post it tomorrow. I did tie my hair today, considering yesterday they were a huge problem. And so I'm halfway through chapter 3, and I would say I do not like Joseph. Maybe it's his personality, maybe it's his accent. Look, it's like a it's like it's Yorkshire accent, right? In general, not having a Yorkshire accent, it is difficult to understand when someone's speaking in that accent. But it is worse when you're trying to read it. It is a struggle. Besides that, I am absolutely loving the descriptions. The vivid descriptions are just incredible. I am loving the writing, and I cannot wait to continue this and just this wind is a problem, and it's like a boon and a bane at the same time. But let us get into me actually reading. By the way, if you want me to have more, shoot more up on the roof. And in general, if you like my videos, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and check out my website and my Instagram. The link will be in the description. Let's get into the reading. Okay, so I have to say that this particular line just like got my eye really. But I was reading this and this line just like stuck with me. Like my head aches, still I cannot keep it on the pillow, and still I can't give over. The description, the feeling. You can feel it. You can sense it. It's like you are there. I'm pretty sure everyone has experienced it at some point. Like that entire like post crying moment of like you've been crying for so long that your head aches and you cannot even keep it on the pillow at that point because it's just blaring. Yeah, just beautiful. Okay, so I was setting up. I haven't even set up my like the stand and everything. I haven't even put my mic on or anything, but I'm just setting up. And I mean, look at that. Look at that over there. Like, it's just so pretty. And I'll put up some pictures on screen like that I took just now. Oh my god, like it is so beautiful. And I'm just so excited to start my reading journey up here for the next few chapters. Let's go. So, hi guys. I'm on campus right now, so do not mind if there's any background noise or what I'm wearing or whatever. Today is Wednesday, and I am 1/4 of the way through. I know the post was supposed to come today, but I have already uploaded that I will be posting the blog on Friday instead. So, yeah, I'll finish this book. I have been reading and haven't really recorded much of my reading, but I am enjoying her writing style in the sense I love some of the analogies and metaphors she uses, but it is too soap opera and too gossipy, honestly. Like, yeah, sorry about that. There is a lot of background noise. I cannot avoid it all, so I had to cut in between. But yeah, it is too soap opera-y, too gossipy for my liking. Till now, I haven't felt any attachment with any of the characters. I like the writing. There are points where I genuinely am excited about some. Really sorry about all that background noise, but yeah, there are points where I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so there are points where I honestly just feel like, oh my god, this is such a great analogy. I love reading this sentence. I read a particular sentence like three, four, five times just for the sake of truly cherishing that sentence. But then do not feel a connection with any of the characters yet. Maybe that will change as I go through, but let's hope for the best. Bye. Hi guys. So there is some background sound still. There's some work getting done. I hope it's not. I'm pretty sure it's showing up in the audio, but I hope it's not an issue. But I just started chapter 9, and like I mentioned previously, I really am not connected to the characters at all. Like, this is that gossipy soap opera y feel, as I mentioned. Just Mrs. Dean is her name, who's just going on about the dramas at Wuthering Heights, and it just gets. It feels like it's dragging on right now. It's just stretching unnecessarily. If you were into gossip, I mean, sure, you would love it, perhaps, but meeting a person who's not that big of a fan of gossip, it is slightly boring, and I have to tell myself to read this book. One thing that is attracting me is the writing style. Just certain sentences are grabbing my eyes, and they're just, I get like fangirl, like I fully fangirl over those moments. And one of those is this particular line where it said, a miser who has parted with a lucky lottery ticket for 5 shillings and finds next day he has lost in the bargain £5,000 could not show a blanker countenance than he did on beholding the figure of Mr. Earnshaw above. It expressed plainer than words could do, being intensest anguish at having made himself the instrument of thwarting his own revenge. The words used, honestly, the words used here, I just sat there staring at them for a full 5 minutes. I was in class. I mean, it was like a break between classes, and okay, I mean that's all. But I just like was staring at it for like 5 full minutes, admiring the words. But let's continue. Okay, so guys, I am currently sitting in my bed reading. Do not mind the audio or how I look. I have nothing set up right now, and I'm reading, and there's this line that just shows up. So basically, Catherine and Heathcliff are discussing about the fact that Isabella is in love with Heathcliff, and Heathcliff is considering that. Do not mind the background noise. Heathcliff is considering the possibility of marrying Isabella if she were to be the heir of Edgar Linton. Yeah, Edgar Linton's property if anything were to happen. And Katzen is just like, do not look at Edgar and Isabella's property because those are mine because I'm married to Edgar Linton. And Heathcliff replies to that by saying, if they were mine, there would be none the less that. And that is the first time that anything that is not beautiful writing, any dialogue between the characters, it's the first time that any dialogue between the characters has got this reaction out of me. So yeah, let's go. So I went AWOL for the last few months. I am fully aware that I hadn't finished my Wuthering Heights vlog. I hadn't finished reading it, and within this video itself, you guys must have seen the hoping of being able to finish it, and yet just absolutely miserably failing at it. Well, here I am, having finished Wuthering Heights. I finished it on 31st of March. Today is 3rd of March. I am putting it out on this Sunday. I'm planning on posting this video this Sunday. And also, I'm planning on catching up for the remaining of the month. You must have seen my post by now. I must have posted it by now by the time, I obviously would have posted it by now by the time you guys are watching. So let's just get into the thoughts. Yeah. So I have a little notebook here where I have certain pointers that I have made. So first of all, just general thoughts about my reading experience has been that I enjoyed the writing style. I thoroughly enjoyed the writing style. I just couldn't care less about the plot or the characters. It just might be me, or it might be a popular opinion for some people. I genuinely loved the writing. I have fangirled over various quotes by Emily, Bronte, not any character. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I filmed. I feel a little awkward, but yeah, it is what it is. So there have definitely been quotes that I have fangirled over. Crazy writing, crazy, I tell you. But the plot and the characters, I have no words. I was just there's a reason that I'm not going to blame this on the plot or anything that I went into a reading slump over the last few months. Yes, there was a lot of work, but I was not compelled to pick up the book and finish it. It was dragging on, in my opinion. So let's go in a systematic order of my insights, my thoughts, what I felt while reading. So first of all, yes, the narration of the book is a little, it's like gossip. It's like Nellie telling Mr. Lockwood the story of Wuthering Heights. Yes, it's a little gossip like. Yes, it's in the beginning of this like vlog. I don't remember at this point. I think I did mention that it feels a little gossip like, a little soap opera y. by the end of it, I think I can appreciate the writing style of telling it in that way. It's definitely an interesting way to tell the story. It's definitely a good storytelling technique. And from this, like I said, from the storytelling perspective, I can learn to appreciate her writing style. The only limitation it has is that it diminishes Mr. Lockwood's character. Like, I feel throughout the story, Mr. Lockwood is just the passive listener to the story. He barely makes a mark. He became quite forgettable for me. I like in the middle of the book, I think I completely forgot that there is someone called Mr. Lockwood. I mean, I knew that it's being narrated to this guy, but I completely forgot his name. And yes, there is this bit of where Mr. Lockwood goes and gives Kathy a note, and that's pretty much it. I genuinely feel Mr. Lockwood is just chilling there. We could have had so much more. He was just passive throughout it. He decided to dip down and then return 6 months later and again hear the story of whatever transpired while he was gone. And he became very forgettable, as I keep saying. Next, let's go to the writing style in general. Like I mentioned, I was fangirling over various quotes. Like, I have a lot of quotes that I've highlighted. Like, just to go through some of them, I would say I am not wearing my glasses. I will look very weird when I'm reading. Apologies. So, there's this quote in chapter, I'm just opening random pages where I've highlighted something. So, this is from chapter 9, where Emily Bronte has written, "A miser who has parted with a lucky lottery ticket for 5 shillings and finds next day he has lost in the bargain £5,000 could not show a blanker countenance than he did on beholding the figure of Mr. Earnshaw above. It expressed plainer than words could do the intensest anguish at having made himself the instrument of thwarting his own revenge." The writing. Honestly, I remember the day I was reading this, and honestly, I was just silent for like 2 to 3 minutes of just, oh my god. The imagery is impeccable. The concept, chef's kiss. Going further, let's see where else I've highlighted something. I just dropped my bookmark. Yeah. One hoped and the other despaired. They chose their own lots and were righteously doomed to endure them. Hello? Hello? Towards the fag end of the book. But you might as well bid a man struggling in the water rest within arm's length of the shore. This is a line by Heathcliff. Yes, this is by Heathcliff when he is, talking about the end coming soon, and oh my god, that line. I was in my flight at the time, surrounded by people, and I had to take a couple of minutes to just gawk at it and appreciate the image presented by Emily Bronte here. And I'm saying Emily Bronte here and not the characters, primarily because I didn't feel anything for the characters. We'll get to that. We also have this particular page. I will have to check which chapter it is, but it's on page 322. I have highlighted a lot of things, like I could almost see her, and yet I could not. I ought to have sweat blood, then, from the anguish of my yearning. Later on, there's this line. His eyes were fixed on the red embers of the fire, the brows not contracted but raised next the temples, diminishing the grim aspect of his countenance, but imparting a peculiar look of trouble and a painful appearance of mental tension towards one absorbing subject. I could go on for hours finding my highlights and talking about them and just the experience I had, but we would be here forever. So if we move on to the next point that I was planning to make is about the plot. Like I said, I could not care less for the plot. It it was too romance heavy. I think I said it in the beginning before I started reading that it might become a problem because I am not a huge romance fan. I enjoy a good romance as long as there's something else to the plot. And honestly, I found nothing. Nothing of interest. Also, like the slight like incest like plot. Slight? Hello? No. It is very evident. It has a lot of incest like plot, which I kind of find annoying. I barely tolerated the incest plot in City of Bones and like the first half of the Mortal Instruments, even the second half of the Mortal Instruments. I was just rolling my eyes and like, here we go again. Here we go again. It was too incest, too much of an incest. It was too romance heavy. It could not engage me in that sense. And the plot wasn't that interesting in the sense that I remember when it was revealed that Hareton and Kathy were going to get married around the end of the book. That was like the maximum reaction I got was, oh, nice. Throughout the entire book, anytime something happened, I was like, oh well, that's too bad. Oh well, oh that's nice. That's the maximum reaction I like the plot was able to elicit. Obviously, the writing did elicit a lot of pause, rethink your own writing style, and just stand in the presence of such beautiful writing. But oh, nice. That's great. Moving to the characters, like I mentioned, Mr. Lockwood, pretty forgettable. He's the character like through whose perspective we are going through the entire story. Yet I don't know anything about him. I know more about Nellie than I know about Mr. Lockwood. Yes, there are points where I was genuinely feeling that. Can we just stop, please? Can you stop being that annoying and honestly sometimes mean? I found her more mean than Heathcliff because again with Heathcliff I was just like, here we go again. He's being evil again. He loves Catherine, but that's pretty much it. He loves Catherine and he does not know how to express that, and so he's being evil and annoying again. With Catherine, she was just being mean at some points, and the times when she was not being mean, I was just like, oh well, good for you, I guess. Okay, guys, hi. So, editing me here. First of all, when I mentioned that Catherine, like her character, it didn't make me feel much more than oh well, good for you, I guess. When she's not being mean, I don't mean the points where she was suffering with her mental health when she was not eating or anything. But like again, I could not care much about it. Also, I just mentioned only these like main core characters in a way, but I forgot about Joseph. I don't think I forgot about him. I just think that I was suppressing. I kind of hate Joseph. He is very annoying. His Yorkshire accent is hard to understand, and he was just a grumpy old man. And I just want to erase him from my memory at times. He does, I think to some extent, that grumpiness does add to a lot of comic relief to a pretty much romance heavy but dark story. So that's interesting, that's fun. But regardless, I don't like Joseph very much. But also, I think now that I'm really thinking about it, if there's any one character that I genuinely liked in the book, it would be Kathy, because she is just, she is, I don't know how to put it, but a fun character to read. Like, I would say that she has that energy to herself, like, try me, I'm going to put a curse on you. Like, I just genuinely enjoy that energy of hers. It's just spunky. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed her character. Yes, she was also being a bitch at some points, like mother, like daughter, I guess. But I genuinely did enjoy her character much more than other characters. I I don't know what you guys' opinion of the book is, and I am open to your interpretations and your thoughts about it, and maybe that might, influence me to think of this in a different way. But for now, I could not care less. I'm sorry, I could not care less. Okay, so let's get into rating this book. So this is again a disclaimer, this is my personal opinions. You are valid to have your own, as am I valid to have my own. I will be rating the book under these 4 particular heads: Ben's Boys, plot strength, character engagement, and experience. They're all rating out of 5. So ultimately, I'm going to give a score out of 20. So for Ben's Boys, I would say I would give it like a 3.5 or 4 out of 5. I'll stick with 4. I'll stick with 4. Let's cut off the 0.5s. Let's stick with 4. As for plot strength, again like a 1.5, 2-ish out of 5. I like I mentioned, yes, I did mention that I could not care less for the plot, but I can see why people would find it fun to read. I can see it. There were moments where I was getting into it slightly, a little bit, and then just being like, oh well. So that's why I think 1.5, 2-ish, we're cutting off the point 0.5, so round up to 2. As for character engagement, a 1 out of 5.
So, editor me again. Looking at my score for the character engagement, I think because I did like Kathy, I can consider making that one a 2. Because I did like the characters. Like, I didn't mind reading them. Although it was annoying and I did not really connect to the characters, but I did especially enjoy Kathy. So, I guess I will make it a 2.
I think this is very low, but I wish I could have liked the characters more. Maybe because I went into a reading slump and could not connect with the characters, I would definitely give it the benefit of the doubt. But in this particular read of mine, I really did not. It's not that the characters are bad. It's just I did not connect with them to the extent I would like to be connected to characters. For the experience of it all, it was definitely fun to be in a 1700s British world. It does have that like goth storytelling, goth setting, not storytelling, goth setting, which I definitely enjoyed. The gloomy weather, the just the darkness of it all. I think I definitely enjoyed. I mean, it's my type. It's my type of weather. It's my type of setting, which I definitely. I mean, I remember sitting outside in cloudy weather, reading. So it was definitely a fun read, a fun setting to be immersed in. As much as I could not fully be immersed, it was definitely a fun experience. I mean, obviously, the fangirling over the quotes, minus a couple of points for. I'm not blaming the book for me being pushed into a reading slump because there were other factors involved, but I did go into a reading slump and I was in and out constantly. I was never compelled to read further. So I would give it like a 3 out of 5. So the full score is right here. And well, here we are at the end of my first reading vlog, which took the span of 3 months. Of course, by the end of it, towards the end of the book, you really don't see that much of my reading experience, primarily because I was traveling towards the last portion of the book. And so I was in and out of planes, and I had exams going on in between, because of which I was like, I have 5 minutes, might as well just read a little bit or something. It wasn't that significant. So ultimately, it was a rough, rocky experience, and I feel like it had been a while since I had gone into a reading slump. So definitely valid, especially with the amount of work that I had. But from now on, as I mentioned, things are looking up. This entirety of April, I will be catching up on all the literature that I missed for the previous months, and we will be continuing full force ahead. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share this with other bibliophiles, and if you're interested, go check out my Instagram page and as also my website, the link of which will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, bibliophiles!